turn the host duties over for a minute so I could reboot the machine. So I actually am broadcasting on YouTube within the next minute. And you can clap. Thank you. All right. You're too much. Really, you're too much. All right, we're going to begin on page 13 with Shalom Aleichem. Let me hear, especially those in the way back. I think that's Gail there in the nice green chair. How you doing? And her mother's in front of her, making sure she's well protected. We begin on page 13, Shalom Aleichem, which is the front cover of your packet. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech, malachei hamlachim hakadosh, baruch hu, baruch hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Can everyone on the Zoom hear me okay? Shake your head yes, if yes. Excellent. If you tell someone to shake their head, usually they're listening. Okay. We turn to page 14, Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman Mishoch Abdach Eritzonach Yarutz Abdach Kemo hayal yishtachaber el mul hadarach yerav lo yedidutach minofet suf v'chol tam. Yeah, die, da, 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 die, yeah, die, da, 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 die, yeah, die, da, 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 die, yeah, die, da, 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 die, yeah, die, da, 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 die, yeah, die, da, 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 die, yeah, da, die, da, 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 die, yeah, da, die, da, 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 die, yeah, die, da, 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 die, yeah, da, die, da, 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 die, yeah, da, die, da, 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 die. Ya da 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 da. Let's see here. Who's paying attention? Nice to see you, Carol. The Dragoons. We got everybody tonight. Anybody who's anybody we've got tonight. Page 15. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu nerana ladonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu nerana ladonai. Naria, Naria, Litsoy Shenu, Nekadma Fana Bitoda. Naria, Naria, Litsoy Shenu, Bizmirot Naria Lo. Lechuneranena, lechuneranena, lechuneranena ladonai. Lechuneranena, lechuneranena, lechunerana ladonai. Arbahim shana kut pedor vahomram toelevavhem vehem lo yadu drachai asher nishpati v'api im yavahun el menuchati. All right, hold on one moment, please. Trying to do this, and we're good there. All right. We're going to turn to page 16, and let's see who in our wonderful audience that isn't filming like Mara is to lead us responsively. Sharon, would you like to lead us Psalm 96 responsively on page 16, nice and loud so the people on Zoom can hear you? Sing to Adonai, proclaim each day God's awesome might, announce to the world God's glory and wonders. All the gods of the nations are nothingness, but Adonai created the heavens. Acknowledge Adonai, all families of nations. Acclaim God's majestic power. Acknowledge God's glory and bring him tribute. Judges all nations with fairness. I think there's another line. Let field and forest sing for joy. Adonai comes to rule the earth, to rule the world justly, the nations with faithfulness. Yashkahech, beautiful job. And we turn to page 17, Psalm 97. Mesh, would you like to lead us, Psalm 97, in your rocket scientist voice? God's throne is founded on justice, though God be clouded from view, divine justice reveals God's presence. The heavens proclaim God's righteousness. All people behold God's majesty. Hearing of your judgments, Adonai, Zion exalts and the cities of Judah rejoice. Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the faithful and saves them from the wicked. Rejoice in Adonai, you who are righteous, acclaim the holiness of God's name. Yasher koach. We turn to page 19, and at the bottom, let's sing together, Romemu. Let's exalt together, extol Adonai. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehakodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu ki Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu again. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehad kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehad kodsho. Excellent. You guys are sounding like you want to be here. Let's turn to page 20. We sing together Havul Adonai. And I encourage you Zoom people to sing even louder. Not that I can hear you, but I know you sound good. Havul Adonai b'nei Elim. Havul Adonai kavod v'hoz. Havul Adonai kivod shemo. Ishtachavu Adonai behadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim. Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach. Kol Adonai behadar. Kol Adonai shover arazim. Vayishaber Adonai razeh halvanon. Vayar kidem Kimo egel Levanon v'Sirion Kimo ven remim. Kol Adonai chotzev lahavotesh. Kol Adonai yachil midbar. Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot vayechesof yeharot uvhe chalo kulo omer kavod Adonai lamabu yashav Vayeshev Adonai melech liolam Adonai yos liamo yitain Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Very good. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Well, I can't unmute you all at once, so they got to fix that in Zoom. All right. We have 11 dial-ins. Well, actually, that includes me. So 10 dial-ins, but we have a few couples. So I would say we have an extra 3. We probably have 13 or 14 people on. So we are live from Symphony Park in Peabody, Massachusetts. We have been... We are very... What? No, they can see the basketball players in the back though. Well, they're leaving now. I'll turn it around as at some point, but it'll ruin my lighting, so I don't want to do that. You're getting a good look at my face tonight for a change. Not that there's a lot of good looks, but we try our best. All right, we turn to page 21 for Lecha Dodi, and we'll do every other verse. Lecha Dodi lekrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi lekrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem multiferet v'lihitila le'echad dodi le'ekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech Ir melucha kumitzei mitoch hafecha rav lach shevet behemet habacha v'hu yachamol alayechem la lecha dodi lehekrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela Hitori Hitori kiva horech kumi hori huri shir daberi kivod Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi lekrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Next page. V'hayulim shisa shoasayach v'racha kul kol mevolayach yasis alayach Elohayich kimsos chatan ahal kala lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise if you can. Boi v'shalom ateret b'halagam b'simcha u'tzahala tochem munei aham segula boi chala lecha dodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi lekrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. Leslie, nice dance there. All right. We truly are live where anything can happen. We turn to page 23. And actually, I'm going to ask one of our Zoomers to read responsively tonight. And since she gave me the lighting, this beautiful lighting, I'm going to ask our recovering spouse, Alyssa, will you please read responsively a song for Shabbat? A song for Shabbat. Hold on one second, though. I need to fix the sound on this machine. This machine is almost as old as I am, so we're losing a little bit of the sound and all that. Okay, go ahead.
You ready?
I am ready.
It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God.
To affirm your love each morning and your faithfulness each night, to the music of the lute and the melody of the harp.
Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation.
How vast your works, Adonai, your designs are beyond our grasp.
The thoughtless cannot comprehend, the foolish cannot fathom this.
The wicked may flourish, springing up like grass, but their doom is sealed, for you are supreme forever.
Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish. All the wicked shall crumble.
But me you have greatly exalted. I am anointed with fragrant oil. I have seen the downfall of my foes. I have heard the despair of my attackers.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God.
They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant. To proclaim Adonai is just, my rock in whom there is no flaw. And there were no flaws in that reading. So
Thanks, honey.
she gave everyone the thumbs up. There you go. All right. No, she didn't give that one. That'll be in private to you later, Barry. All right, let's sing together Tzadi Katamar, bottom four lines on page 23. Tzadi Katamar Yifrach Keres Balvanon Yizke Shetulim Beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuvon Beseva Deshenim Verananim Iyu Lehagid Ki Yashar Adonai Suri Velo Avlatabo. Page 24. Adonai Malach Yud Lavish Lavish Adonai Osi Tazar Avti Kante Babalti Mot Tachon Kisachane Has Melamata Nasi Melamata Nasi Edotecha Nemunio Levetecha Navakodesh Adonai Leorech Yamin. In the middle of page 24, mourners and those observing your site, please rise for the mourners' Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Amen. V'yalma divra kirute v'yamlich malchute v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'izman kariv v'miru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mivarach li'olam lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha b'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran b'yalma v'miru, Amen. Yehesh lama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'miru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'miru, Amen. I ask everyone to please rise, and we turn to page 28 as we welcome in Shabbat with the Baruch Hu. And does anyone remember which way is it? I'm going to turn this way. It's that way? All right. Good. Then all of you turn around. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vahed. Please be seated. Continue at the bottom. Umavir yom ve'laylam, umavdil ben yom ve'layla, Adonai tzvahot shemo, El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu, Leolam Vahed. Baruch atah Adonai Hamari Varavim. Page 29. Let's all sing together. Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu V'shachveinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha uv'mitzvotecha li'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu govahem negeh yomam v'layla. V'yavtecha simimenu li'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Whoops, I gotta turn that down here. We turn to the next page, page 30, or if you're looking on the screen, it says 112. Let's sing together the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol miyotecha v'chayu advarim asher nochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shachbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshatam liota yadecha v'chayu l'totafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mizuzot beitecha u'visharecha. And on the opposite page, let's see. Ronnie, is that you? Yes. Would you like to read You Shall Love? Beautiful. And in the mask too. Boy, it continues silently. The bottom of page 30. I would also like to welcome the one person who is watching on YouTube. Literally one person. But that is a very special person, whoever that is. It's possible that's me, actually, because I'm looking at my phone. So like I said, I'm a very special person. All right. With that fun, let's turn to the next page, page 31, and let's sing together Vayomer Adonai. Vayomer Adonai El Moshe Lemor daber el b'nei Yisrael, v'amarta alehem, v'asu lahem tzitzit, al kanfei vigdehem ledorotam, v'natznu al tzitzit hakanaf petil techelet, v'haya lachem letzitzit, v'oritem oto, Uzchartem ekol mitzvot Adonai, v'asitem otam, v'lo taturu, acharei levavchem, v'acharei einechem, asher atem zonim achreichem, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Alyssa, you trying out every room in the house? Just keep switching rooms. Page 32. Emet b'muna kol zeh b'kayam aleinu ki hu Adonai Eloheinu v'yinzil otana. All right, let's see if you remember this tune. We've been singing it a few times lately. Middle of page 32. Umalchuto biratzon kiblu alehem Moshe uvnei Yisrael lechanu shira v'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedad b'kodesh Nora Tehiloto Sefele Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai Mi Chamocha Nehda B'Kodesh Nora Tehiloto Sefele Malchutecha Rahuvanecha Bokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe Zeheli Anu V'Yamru Adonai Imloch Liolam Vaed V'Nehemar Kifadar Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo Miyad Chazak Mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gahal Yisrael. All right, we're going to go for one more Zoomer to read on page 33, the English. And let's see. It looks like Steve Godsagan's begging to do this because I see his lips moving. So, Steve, if you can unmute, please. Say hi to
Protect us with your gift of peace by helping us to overcome temptation.
Open our hearts to joy.
Shelter us in your embrace of peace when we are caught by conflict or desire.
When we are torn, heal us. When we are tormented, touch us with tranquility.
Cherish our fragmented lives. Make our lives whole again through integrity.
When we deceive, turn us to you. When we corrupt, capture our hearts anew.
Protect us from ourselves. When we falter, help us to conquer the enemy within.
When we blunder, restore us. With compassion, teach us that peace is based on your truth. Yashikah. You can mute yourself again. Thank you. Ushmod seitenu v'enu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata v'yad olam ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha Baruch atah Adonai, hapore sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. We turn to page 34, and as we prepare for the Amidah, we sing and welcome in the Shabbat with Vishamru. Please rise. Page 34. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. יגדל ויקדש שמי רבה, ויאמר דברי כרותי וימלך מלכותי, בחייכון ויומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בהגלה בהגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לא מהמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם וינשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשה ברכו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן. The silent Amidah can be found pages 35b through 38. When you are finished, you may be seated. Oh, say shalom bimromav. Boyase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru imru amen. Yahase shalom. Yahase shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. We turn to page 47. 47. That should be the next page in your packet. And I'll ask you to rise again, please, as we repeat the beginning of the Amidah, starting with Vayechulu. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzevam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvihi melachto asher asa vayishpot bayom hashvihi mikol melachto asher asa. Vayevarech Elohim et Yom Hashvihi, Vayekadesh oto, Kivo Shavat mikol melachto, Kivo Shavat mikol melachto, Asher bara Elohim, Asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ahel Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Konei Shamayim Varetz. Please be seated. Magen Avod Bidvaro Mechaye Mitim B'Mamaro Ahel HaKadosh Shein Kamohu Hameniach Liamo B'Yom Shabbat Kodsho כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד, מהן הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לימים קדושני עונג, זכר למעשה וראשית. Page 48. Eloheinu ve'Elokei avoteinu, ritzei v'mnuchateinu, kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein chelkeinu b'toratecha, sabeinu mitovecha, v'samcheinu b'shuatecha, kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein chelkeinu b'toratecha, sabeinu mitovecha, v'samcheinu b'shuatecha, v'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu liyavdecha be'emet, v'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu, v'taher libeinu liyavdecha be'emet. V'hanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu mi'ahavav ratzon shabbat kodshecha, v'yanucha v'Yisrael mikadshei shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Yikadav yikadav shemei rabam im yomad divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechonu v'yimachonu v'chayidecha v'Yisrael b'agalav yisman kariv v'midru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabba mivarach, li'alam le'amei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'tumah minaseh v'tadav v'talev v'talad shmei kodesham rechu, le'elamin kol bechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiram b'yamav v'yimru. Amen. Tikabal son honavar hondecha Yisrael kadamahon v'yishmaya v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Aseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. We turn to page 49, and we are going to stand for the Kiddush. Now, unfortunately, in my haste getting out the door tonight, I forgot my Kiddush cup. So I'm going to use the next best thing, my 3-quart jug of water, to do the Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kenishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahavav ratzon, inchilanu zikaron l'mahaseh Bereshit, ki hu yom techila l'mikrahei kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'achar V'sharta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon kinchatanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim with the yayin. Well, the mayim. I don't have the yayin. It's pretty good, actually. Please be seated. Again, I'd like to say good evening live from Symphony Park. It's time to sing Bridge Over Troubled Water or something. Get it the right way here. How's everyone on Zoom this evening? You can unmute if you'd like to say hello. All right.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Live from the Spitzer residence.
Hello. Hello.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We have, just so everyone in the audience knows who's here tonight, we have Fred and Sandy Stark. Welcome. We have Ron and Stuart Spitzer. We have Amy and Steve Gottsagen. We have Joan Fine. We have Alyssa Lando and her dog Harper. We have Lois Black. And I think Francine's on, but not on camera. And Sally Francis is on, not on camera. And Sandra's iPad, is that Sandy Simon? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. Sorry, I had to bring back up my my words here. I'm sorry for everyone in the field tonight has to look at me through a light, but it's the only way anyone on the screen can see me. Although I think I'm a little too bright now. I look orange on screen. See if I can bring that down a little bit. All right. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
How's everyone's summer going so far?
Yeah, right.
Big parties that you watch on TV, long vacation trips to the backyard, fine dining with the best takeout money can buy. Well, maybe it isn't quite that bad for some, at least here in the Northeast United States quasi bubble. I actually heard that some of you have ventured out for a bit, which is good. For reference, however, Howie Friedman is checking temperatures over there. He just ran out of hydroxychloroquine, though, so please don't bother asking him. It's definitely a crazy time, and it seems like it's never ending. So for a few moments, let's stop discussing the depressing subjects and talk about some better stuff, like the Red Sox. Maybe not so good there. But aren't those cutouts of fans lovely? Or Tom Brady getting ready for the season with the, sore subject. Or the bustling economy. Well, there are the plethora of the Amazon Prime trucks that keep entering the driveway several times a week. Thank you, Alyssa. Well, at least there aren't any major protests going on right now. Oh, that too. I'd say it's time to move to Canada, but they won't let us in the country. They want no part of this. I think Mexico has taken over construction of the border wall. It's gotten so tough that I'm starting to pine away for one of Barry Abrams' thought-provoking lectures. Instead of saying eat in good health for Kiddush, we should just say eat and keep it down. Is there any good that comes out of this? Is there a silver lining or a kesef bitna? I do believe that the answers to these questions are yes. A pandemic or magefa is by definition an outbreak prevalent over a large space or group. In this case, over the whole world. unless you are the one person on a deserted island or the very small handful of remote places that haven't confirmed a COVID-19 case. Almost everyone has been affected by it. Now, you can make your own judgments as to who has handled the response better around the world. And I know there is a lot of credit and blame flying around. But notwithstanding all of that, I do believe that we have been able to gain a better insight into our character as human beings. What makes us tick? How much we do or don't take things for granted? How much are we willing to sacrifice for the sake of others? We see this in small doses, like those who bravely and selflessly serve our country in the armed forces, or acts of heroism to save others from peril. But I can't remember going through something like this where basically everyone is affected. And I have been encouraged by the fact that most people seem to be doing what they can to be conscious of others and respectful by wearing masks, social distancing, quarantining when necessary, keeping in small groups, etc. Of course, there are slip up and mistakes, but that's expected. But for the minority who feel little empathy for others and are primarily engrossed in their own existence, it can produce a cascading effect that can literally threaten lives and prolong the situation. Sometimes a majority is not enough to make things happen. Sometimes you need 2/3, sometimes 3/4, sometimes you need 90%. Sometimes you just need to do the right thing and you need to stop taking it as a personal affront. In this case, with this pandemic, the individual is just as important as the whole, and it certainly isn't business as usual. For Jews worldwide, we just had the opportunity to observe Tisha B'Av, the remembrance of the destruction of the temples in Jerusalem and many other dire events in our historical calendar. You could probably excuse one of us for not being that empathetic to others, considering how Jewish people have been treated throughout history and certainly today. But that perhaps is why I feel that we as Jews are more obligated to show empathy rather than less. I don't see it as our right to perpetuate that which is bad or harmful to others in order to justify a cause or to balance the scales. We don't live in an eye for eye society, at least we shouldn't be. If the Italian or German people need help today during a pandemic or some other calamity, then we shouldn't be weighing options whether or not to help them based on what happened in 1943 or back in the year 70 CE or at any other period. We can't change the past, but we need to learn from it, even if we weren't around during that time. I don't think anyone here was around during the year 70, not even Heshe, although there are some who were alive during the period of the Holocaust. Regardless of the time, it is our obligation to carry their message forward in earnest, but also in peace, just as our friends who march peacefully in the current protests around the country for the Black Lives Matter movement. It is our obligation to turn those wrongs into rights and not by creating more wrongs. And there are times where it is not our right to be selfish just because we can be, or we are too ignorant to notice what is going on around us. Whether it is solving a pandemic or religious persecution or domestic violence or homophobia or whatever the wrong is, it is our responsibility, both individually and as a whole, to work towards what is right for the betterment of both. And it doesn't have to be much. Start by wearing a mask. Start by calling a friend and seeing how they're doing. Make a donation or just attend a service to show support. Maybe say good things about people on Facebook once in a while. You don't have to change the world by doing majestic things. All it takes is one small good deed at a time. We all deserve to enjoy our lives and be selfish once in a while. But we need to put more effort into knowing when we need to be more than that. More than ever, all of our lives depend on it. I will always have a lot of hope for our world. So let's not let ourselves down. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right. With that, we come back to our service and we turn. This light makes me look like an orange. I don't know here. Is that a little better? That's a little better. All right. We turn to page 51. I ask everyone to please rise for the Elena. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latekedu liotzer breshit velo asani kagorye haratzot velo samanu kimishpechot adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gahar aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו ככתוב בתורתו בידעת היום והשבותה אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Please be seated. Mourners and those observing your side, however, please remain standing for the Mourners Kaddish. And I ask if there's anybody online who would like to say it out loud with us, you're free to unmute. Yitzgadal,
Yikadash Shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Yom
Yoma Divra Kirute V'Yomlich Malchute V'Chayecho V'Yomechon Chaye Defo Yisrael Agala Vizman
Amen.
Yehei Shmei
Rabba Mabara
Yolam Yomaya Yitzbarach, Yishtamach, Yitma'al, Yitma'aman, Yitnaseh, V'Yitadar, V'Yitaleh, V'Yitalal, Shemei Kedusha, V'Rehu, Le'elah, Yimkol, Bechata, V'Shirata, Tushtakata, V'Nechamata, Damiran, V'Yalma, V'Yamaru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba B'Shmaya V'Chayim Aleinu Kodesh Kol Yisrael V'Imru.
Amen.
Oseh Shalom V'Imru Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru. Amen. Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom again. We are live here from Symphony Park in Peabody, Massachusetts, zip code 01960. And it's a pleasure to have everyone on with us tonight. We have, I don't know, we're probably between the Zoom and out here, probably about close 35 to 40 tonight. So it's wonderful. It's been a beautiful night again. We've been very lucky with the weather the last couple of times. And hopefully we'll have the better weather going forward. I only have 18% left on my computer, so we're going to get to the announcements and to the birthdays and anniversaries. I turn it over to our president, Rosalind Abrams.
Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Awesome.
Just use this for them.
You sure?
For them.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody online. It's me, Roz.
Too much great juice.
Yeah.
Too much great juice.
Hey, Siri, turn on the flashlight.
It's on.
Awesome. So we're just going to do some birthdays and anniversaries for August. And those of you who are here, if you hear your name, you can stand up. And those of you at home, the same thing as well. And then we'll do a Shecheyanu. Brenda Green, Jackie Ankeles, Rosalind Wiseman, Nancy Singer, James Horwitz, Carol Slavin, Bronislav Kavsan, Emma Kavsan, Matthew Piaker, Steve Smith, Joel Marin, Pam Millman-Stein, Rhonda Marks, Barry Moffey, Beverly Brand, Lauren Fluke, Jenya Krigman, Phyllis Bergman, Susan Kagan, Taffy Marin, Kathleen Tanzer, Mr. David Landau. That would be a...
That's my dad.
Yes, I know. Yes. You can stand up because you know him. Mr. Barry Abrams. Mr. Barry Abrams. Heshi Blass. Mr. Heshi Blass.
40 years old made.
Tells the same story.
40 years old. Same day.
Same day, yes.
29.
Yes.
Same exact day.
Yeah. Different year.
Unbelievable.
Louise Ordman. Mark Blass. Beatrice Carger. Alyssa Landau.
Oh,
All right, let's do Shecheyanu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kiyamanu lazman hazeh.
And we just have a few anniversaries. Mr. and Mrs. Eric Horowitz, Mr. and Mrs. Eric Yanofsky, Mary and Arthur Kellerman, Mr. and Mrs. Douglas Garber, Mr. and Mrs. David Schreiber, Mr. and Mrs. Paul Wax, Mr. and Mrs. Scott Marks, Dr. and Mrs. Ronald Goldberg, John Carter and Heather Fine, and Leslie and Steve Greenberg. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask, are there any other birthdays or anniversaries for August? No? Okay. Let's do another Shecheyanu for the anniversaries. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Just a few announcements. I have this here also. Live stream services tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock and live stream services Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Reminder to send in your membership renewal as well as submissions for this year's memorial book by September 4th. Payment for both, as well as donations, can now be done via the show website. Just click the payment tab to the right, and you can either pay with a credit card or with a PayPal account. It's as simple as that. Yeah. The Lapin Foundation is organizing an event in time for the holidays, the Shofar Call. So the Shofar Calls, it's customary to sound the shofar every day for a month leading up to Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. If you go to the Lapin Foundation website, you can request a free shofar for each, I believe, for each member of your family. And then they're also via Zoom coordinating a shofar blowout on Sunday, August 23rd at 10 o'clock. And you can also sign up on the Lapin website for that as well. And we will have our first board meeting of the year on Sunday morning, August 23rd at 10:30. All show members are invited to attend, And please email me for a link as it's separate from our regular service link. And that's all. Anything else? All right. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And again, I thank everybody for joining us today, this evening. We're going to conclude with Yigdal. And then after that, if Frida wants to shout out the Hamotzi, she can do so. Okay. So let's sing together. I'm just going to mute this. And page 53, Yigdal. יגדל הימחי וישתבח נמצא ויהנת אל מציאותו אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף לא נערוך אליו קדושתו קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם וכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו מלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו, לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד, נביא הוא מהביט את אמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמו אל, היה נביאו נאמן ביתו, לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו, ישלח לקץ ימי, המתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדעת שם תהילתו, מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדעת שם תהילתו. And then let's, Frida, if you'd like to stand there. She doesn't want to do it? Oh, I'm sorry. You can just do it. Go ahead. Heinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Es gesundter Reit. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Another beautiful night. Our next outdoor service will be on Friday, September 4th. So hopefully you'll join us. We will have a service online in 2 weeks. So have a good night, everyone on Zoom, the one person, myself on YouTube, and have a beautiful Shabbat.
Great job, Sid.
Thank you.
And the people on Zoom didn't get to see the beautiful.
Shabbat shalom.
Well, they
Shabbat
started
shalom.
behind.
Oh, good.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Good to see you all.
You too.
Hi, Amy. Hi, Steve. This is still
I expect a phone call any minute
Yeah. That's it.
from a little baby.